I had been in Italy as a soldier during World War II. I was an ordinary foot soldier with a rifle on my back and all that, full field. And I spent 2 years in Italy, 1 year while the combat was going on, and the second year I was transferred to engineers from the infantry. I became a sign painter. We were working mostly with German prisoners of war who were rebuilding the highway. And I was in charge of, or involved in painting the signs for the road. You know, careful bump, sharp turn, no pavement, that sort of thing. I began making watercolors from little drawings I had done, thinking, well, I'll be going home eventually, and what's my future? You know, the only logical thing was to become an illustrator. At the end of my third year of service and the war fighting was over, I was eligible for discharge and went back to college on the GI Bill. I should say that in high school, I had won a number of awards, poster contests for workers in factories, that sort of thing, for the war effort. But I had won prizes for a couple of paintings at National Scholastic High School. And one of them had been reproduced in Life magazine. The first day after when I went back to school, after discharge from the Army, this young man walked up to me and said, "How does it feel to be famous?" I said, "Well, it only lasted 5 minutes, but it was Andy Warhol." And he set up his easel right next to mine in painting class, and he sat right next to me in the drawing classes and so on. And we became very good friends. And one of his friends was the woman who became my wife, Dorothy Cantor. We traveled together as a group. We saw all the foreign movies, plays, went to concerts. You know, student tickets were cheap. And we went by trolley car. Nobody had an automobile. But we traveled as a group, about 5 of us, to all these cultural events. And I went to work privately with one of the professors of design who had a job doing catalogs or pamphlets for the Aluminum Company of America. And he hired me. I worked with him weekends and holidays for the next 3 years. So when Andy and I graduated, we came to New York together. We had a third friend who had left Carnegie, but who was older. George telephoned me and said, "Come to New York and bring Andy with you." And I have all the names of all these secretaries of the art directors of all these magazines and advertising houses that he'll turn over to us. And he helped us find a place to live and looked after us when we came to New York. And by the end of the first week, Andy had his first big assignment, Harper's Bazaar. I, on the other hand, wanted to be an art director. So my portfolio didn't quite fit in. It was full of ideas. And so I had a hard time finding a job.